All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CADcast episode number 786. I'm your host, GB, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who's thankfully not laying anyone off tonight, Wombat.
Not tonight, but Chip. Just be, it might be done. just.
You're on notice.
I'm just saying.
I got it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Be prepared.
You're on probation.
Double secret.
I have a friend who once, I swear to God this happened, he came to us like as his roommates and he was like, I'm going to go into work tomorrow and I'm going to ask for a promotion. I'm just going to go in. Like, I really feel like I deserve a promotion. It's going to go into my manager's office, tell them why I want a promotion. And he did that. And the manager was like, not only are we not giving you a promotion, we're putting you on probation because your performance has not been up to par. So, yeah.
So
He read the room properly there.
That's this guy's MO. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. We read the room properly here. We never misspeak or say things out of turn.
Everything we do is perfect.
Yep.
Always.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's been going on? You do anything interesting for winter break? I know your kids
Not
were
really.
off.
I know. I was off all last week. I didn't go anywhere, if that's what you're asking.
That is what I'm asking.
Yeah. No, we just kind of hung around. My kids were very busy. They are at that time in their lives where they make lots of plans with lots of friends and.
Really? I didn't have that part of my life.
No, I didn't either, but they did. And I drove them around and took them places. And we went to the mall a couple of times, which was kind of fun because they needed clothing because they grow. Yeah. It was a good time. It was relaxing. That's all I got.
There we go for clothes, the mall.
Yeah, they like, do they have, my son likes the goat clothing. Is that a thing outside of, are you familiar with the goat clothing, GB?
Well, I know they have a shop at Roosevelt Field. That's how I know about it. Because I go there a lot.
Yeah.
Not the goat clothing store, the mall.
Yeah. The goat clothing is very popular with the middle school boys. So we got some goat clothes.
I am not. No. So I'm not up on their trends.
Well,
You're not popular with the middle school boys?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I hope not.
I mean,
they don't even
you
know who
might
I am.
be. I'm going to say you might be, but yeah.
I could be if I wanted to be. I'm pretty sure.
And how was your winter break? Because yours, I know, was more exciting than mine. Mine was kind of just the thing I did.
Ours was pretty good. We went to Atlantis in the Bahamas. Not
the sunken city.
Correct.
Of myth. No.
Not Aquaman's kingdom.
Okay.
But the resort for New Yorkers in the Bahamas, which was really nice. I feel like that's a place that Shipwreck would want to go to because I know he likes amusement parks and they have a water park.
Isn't it like a lot of water slides?
It's a whole resort. It's like a water park. It's part of the resort, and it's all Atlantis themed. So the buildings look like they might be.
Is it all inclusive?
It is not.
Okay.
It's the opposite of that. It's extremely uninclusive. Exclusive. It's not really, but Mrs. Cheapy got a decent deal on it. That's just why she booked it. Nice. But it was good. The problem was it was like 72 degrees and windy like the whole time we were there. We haven't caught a break with weather on any of our trips, but it was really nice. The food was really good, even for especially good for like amusement park food, water park food. Like everything's freshly made there. Like you get a hamburger.
Water park food is certainly a cuisine.
Yeah,
this was really good. In terms of that cuisine,
wet, soggy hot
dogs. It wasn't not. It was not that. It's not that.
Not wet, soggy hot
dogs.
Nope,
freshly made, prepared. Not like sitting in foil under a heat lamp for an hour. Like really, but you pay for that. You might have sticker shock coming from Ohio. New Yorkers, I feel, are used to those high prices. Right. Yeah.
Not us in Ohio.
No,
everything's just free here.
Well, people, Mrs. Cheapy reads all the reviews of all these places, and she said like most of the complaints were people were in shock over like the food prices, and everything's in American dollars, so you don't have to. There's no like math problems. You just see it like. But
this is why I always go all inclusive.
Well,
'Cause
now
you probably wind up paying the same amount. I'm not saying it's cheaper.
it's not
It's
about
just-
paying the same amount or paying less. It's about, just having like good quality food. You don't have to eat the
Yeah.
most. You don't have to eat all the food. You don't have to
I
like.
didn't say eat the most.
You
I
don't-
just said it's because I don't like the bill. I don't like seeing it when I'm on vacation.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
don't mind the pricing. It's so as much as it is the when I'm sitting at the pool.
I understand
don't
what
want
you're saying.
I don't want a bill. I don't want to see a bill.
Okay, what about this? Okay, what if you could buy food credits ahead of time for a 15% discount up to any amount that you want, and then every time you buy something, you're just charging it to the room, and it's going against that credit that you've pre-bought and got 15% off on.
That might be better. Yes, or you just do all inclusive and you don't have to think about it.
Right, but
it still requires thought.
Right, no, it does require thought, but you're on vacation. You don't have to think so much. Like you went to that fancy spot,
all
Right.
inclusive.
Wombat likes the resorts that come with a battle pass.
Yes, that is basically
he's eating
figured me out.
cabbages in the passenger seat of the taxis while he's.
Yep.
Just all inclusive with the battle pass.
Yep.
This didn't have any battle pass. It did have microtransactions though. Like if you want to swim with the dolphins, that's like an extra $300.
Did you?
I made the mistake of showing my kids like Tokyo Disneyland. They put out a new video about the new lands that are opening up. Fantasy Springs or something like that is the new area.
Okay.
And so
Take your word for it.
I mistakenly, not mistakenly, but I showed it to my kids.
Right.
And it's like Tokyo Disneyland is just ridiculous as far as like the theming that they have. And so they have all new areas they've got a whole Peter Pan area that has like the ship and the skull and like Tinkerbell land. And then they have like a new Rapunzel land that's more than just restrooms.
Right.
Because all we have here for Rapunzel and Tangled is a restroom that's themed like her tower.
Okay.
And so they've got like a whole ride, and you can eat in the bar, right? That's in the movie, and then they also added Frozen like Arendelle and everything, and it's all just like it looks just like so much money. Like you just look at it and you go like,
yes,
wow, the amount of money spent to create these lands. Like they created a whole mountain that has like the ice castle on the side of the mountain.
Right. That's because there's money at the base of that mountain that just keeps coming in and coming in. They make so much money at those Disney places. In fact, Mrs. Chibi said that Atlantis reminded her of Disney Sea. That park. Not as nice, obviously. Not as big.
Yeah,
nothing on a much, 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 much smaller scale. But yeah, so we did that for a couple of days, and then we came back here. It was good.
Nice. We don't have winter break. It's not a thing.
Right. You need it.
In Ohio. Well, no, it just means we get out and have more summer than
It's too hot. Who's going to keep these resorts in business if there's no winter breaks? Come on, the Bohemians are relying on us. Bahamians?
Bahamians.
Bahamians?
Bahamen.
Biavians.
They let the dogs out.
Or the Baha Men. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. One funny thing was in the airport on the way heading out, sitting at the table, we're eating sandwiches before we get on the plane, and a guy comes over and he goes, David Abrams, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I don't know if you remember me or not, but we worked together at this real estate company like a long time ago, like over 20 years ago. He's like, it's me. And I didn't recognize him at fucking all. He's like, do you remember me? I'm like, I don't. I'm sorry. Like, I'm embarrassed.
It is you.
But I know. And I'm like, who are you? And he's like, no, it's me, Seth. And I was like, fucking Seth. Like Seth sat behind me in the bullpen.
Well, you weren't looking at him. That's why I didn't recognize him.
It was so long ago, like 25 years ago, he was like a skinny, scrawny kid. And now he's a man with children or a child. Anyway, so it was just wild that I didn't even have hair. I mean, I had hair back then and he still recognized me. And I was like, how did you recognize me? I look, old and I don't have hair now. And he said, it was your voice. because we just would make sales calls all day long and just be constantly bombing out on the phones. And we would, we're in a bullpen. There's no walls. You just hear each other fucking crashing and burning all day long. So he recognized that my voice, and it was nice. It was fun. That's all.
Cool. Good story.
Yep. It was cool.
So you told me to save this for the show, so I'm saving it for the show. Cheapy, would you like to walk, really mostly walk, a 5K with me in April?
Oh, wait, we're walking it now?
Well, I'm not running. I can't run for a 5K, but I could do my best.
Oh, well, walking one is not that interesting.
Wait, like how? I feel like you've both been in enough Orange Theory classes at this point.
No, Wombat hasn't.
Through a 5K.
Wombat hasn't. As someone who's remembers where Wombat is, where in terms of where I was,
I feel like I could muster the energy to complete a 5K. As far as going from start to finish, as far as running a 5K, no, I don't think I could run a whole 5K. But that's two different things. But I'm gonna say right now 70% sure I'm going to sign up and do it. I had my doctor's appointment this morning, my bariatric professional session.
Your OTF coach number 2.
Yeah. And he was like, I'm gonna do it, you should do it with me.
Oh, and you already got somebody to do it with.
Yeah,
I'm just a third wheel.
But I thought it would be fun if you came down and did it with me to kind of celebrate that I've been trying to get myself back into shape.
How you going to keep up with me though?
I won't.
I'll be hauling ass down there.
Exactly. And then, it'll be great. And then you'll
be
finished and you can laugh at me.
It sounds like something that starts really early.
It might. I would get you the information. You don't have to do it. You don't have to.
No, I know.
You might be interested in things.
I honestly they do one in my town, and Ty did one of them. They do it I think maybe 2 a year.
Mm-hmm.
3 miles is far. To run it, even if I'm doing 10-minute miles, I feel like that's a lot still.
True.
3 10-minute miles
it's a lot. I know.
That's a lot.
I know you're discouraging
I'm
me.
really talking to Shipwreck about it because
okay,
yeah, because he knows what that means and stuff. What's that?
It's 3.1 miles.
Yes, that's 3 miles.
0.1. Don't forget about the 0.1.
Yeah. At that point, you're gonna die anyway.
Finish hard.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that both of you could jog a 5K.
Well, jog, yeah, but that's boring. You want to get what's a good per mile? You want 10 minutes is even faster than jogging, right? What's the pace on that shit? Mile.
10 minutes seems like a jog mile, but it's all dependent on what your
12 minutes.
What your jog is.
Here. Yeah, 7 miles an hour is only in 8.5 minutes. I have to go slower. Anyway, I'll think about it. I'm sure I could do it, but it's
I know you can.
And I know you can do it
That's
too. Of course you can do it if you're going to walk it. You can do it.
I just thought it would be, an enjoyable way to spend a morning. I don't know. I don't know.
You're talking to the guy who goes to the 10:45 a.m. class because I don't want to go.
I know, and I'm going to this. I'm going to the 7:30 class tomorrow after we do this stupid show. I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m., drive my daughter to school, and then go to Orange Theory.
I just feel like vomiting during those time periods.
Tomorrow's a new coach day, which is also weird.
You got to break her in.
Got to break in the new coach. I know. I like Coach. Shout out to Coach Saeed, who binge listened to a handful of CADcasts over the weekend. So I got to give him a shout out. He told me when I saw him on Monday. He told me that. So
he deserves a shout out. Listener plus one.
Yep, he deserves at least one shout out. Help keeping me honest. When I went to the doctor and got my scary prognosis. When my doctor's like, if you don't do something, you're going to be dead in a year. I'm down 25 pounds.
Wow, that's a lot.
Since late July, since RetroCon, I guess.
Wow, that's almost 2 pro bowling balls.
Yeah. So That's my. I haven't done that yet. On this show, I haven't given like a number, but I feel like I'm feeling a little bit more confident tonight.
That's a good number. I think you gave a number once before, to be honest.
Yeah,
but that's a great number to give for sure.
Yeah. So down a quarter of what I need to be. No, it's
That's great.
Yeah.
Great.
We're getting there. That's all I got.
Nice. That's good. That's all you need to have.
Yep.
Chip, you didn't have any break. Anything exciting going on over there? Any pipes that are exploding?
No pipes that are exploding.
Perfect.
Everything is where it should be. I mean, it's we're going somewhere for spring break, so I'll talk about that when that happens.
Nice. I know where you're going. It's not Atlantis. They have a Shake Shack at Atlantis, by the way, Wombat.
You sent me the picture. I saw.
Yep. I told Ty, I was like, you don't know this, but the Atlanteans discovered Shake Shack in the year 70. All right, let's do Watch This Jerks.
Sure. I watched one movie over the weekend that I was like looking forward to seeing too, because I'm a big fan of one of my favorite books of all time is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I'm a big fan of the novel, in addition to the various films that feature vampires in them. And The Last Voyage.
Blade 2, Blade 3, Trinity.
That is all.
Yeah, that's it. This is the only vampire movies I like. Anyway, so I watched The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which is a movie version of one chapter of the book Dracula by Bram Stoker. They took there's a scene in the movie where Dracula goes from Transylvania to London, and he does it by a boat, and the boat is the Demeter, and all sorts of shit goes down on the boat. It's just one chapter of the book, but it's a really good chapter of the book, and I could see why they would want to make a single movie out of it. Like in theory, it totally works and makes sense. As this movie, it doesn't quite stick the landing, so to speak. It's a little slow to start. There's definitely some things in there that, there are some choices. They make choices in this movie.
Dracula has a big penis right on his forehead.
I mean, it's a sort of. I mean, yeah, Dracula. Sort of. Yeah. No, it's
what he has like a Brooklyn accent or something.
No, Dracula isn't. It's not like suave Dracula. It's not really book Dracula.
It's like nerdy.
It's more Nosferatu Dracula. Clearly is what they were going for. Which
I see. He's ugly.
Everybody loves a good Nosferatu reference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone.
I have a question.
Is that what the middle school boys are into?
Mm-hmm.
That and Roblox.
Yep. And
when you watch a movie like this, do you look up the reviews first, or are you just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch this?
I knew it had mixed reviews, but I wanted to watch it anyway. Like, and especially with something that's like a horror movie, reviews don't always apply to something like I know what I'm getting into in a sense.
Have you ever looked up a review for a movie and then you're like, I'm not going to watch this movie?
Usually it'd be the other way around. Sometimes I see a review for a movie that I'm not interested in, and it might make me interested in it.
Sure.
But if it's something I already want to see,
you don't really care. Depends. You lock in. I think there's a lot of people like that.
Generally speaking, I'll probably do that. So I don't know.
Not me.
No.
We're hard and fast over here.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I watched 2 movies on the airplane. No, that's a lie. I watched about 25 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of The Marvels, which was like almost good and almost watchable, but got like annoying too quickly. Like I really liked the girl, Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, yeah.
That part I liked, but then like the whole thing with them like teleporting in and out of every time. Like no one wants to see powers like malfunctioning. No one wants to see people lose their powers malfunctioning. You want to see everything working as intended and not too convoluted. So I had to bail out of that one. And I watched Priscilla. That's the Elvis movie.
Oh, the Elvis Priscilla.
How's that?
Gotcha.
That was really good. It was it was nice and short. It's what you think in terms of the style, but in terms of the story and the Priscilla's experience, probably not what you might assume if you don't really know anything about it, which I didn't. So
How much Tom Hanks is in this one?
He's not. The Colonel is not in it at all. You do not see him.
I would love if just Tom Hanks just had a cameo and this is the Colonel.
How about a whole spin-off movie where it's just the Colonel, no Elvis?
And then I met him and I could not believe it. Oh, sorry boy, you're going to make us a whole lot of money.
Anyway,
that's Tom Hanks as the Colonel.
You said it doesn't sound enough like Tom Hanks, though.
It's a little. I mean, he doesn't sound like Tom Hanks in that movie.
No. Anyway,
Have you
Priscilla
ever
was
seen
good.
it?
Priscilla, yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot different movie. This is a small, like, independent movie. It was good. It was good. Perfect for a plane. I mean, not as the director intended, probably watching it on the back of a JetBlue plane seat, but it was good. Good enough.
I feel like the Marvels was meant for that, though. Like, and you bailed on that one.
I know. It was too annoying. It was like I had to pay attention. I don't know.
The best part.
Yeah, that is an okay movie. Like,
it was okay.
It's a fun Marvel movie. You don't. It's not real thinker.
When I think I turned it off was when I don't even know the name of the African American character.
Photon.
When Photon starts explaining her powers, it was just like, I can see all the white light wavelength. I don't know. It just was like a real turnoff. Like, I'm
not the strongest of characters. Photon.
It's not. It's just, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It made me feel like I was getting dumber watching it. And I just I'd really rather watch something that I've already watched, maybe.
We're approaching the end of all Marvel content here in the house. We are.
You're almost tapped out.
We're almost to everything. We've almost watched everything now, except the things that they're not old enough to watch yet. So we watched Wakanda Forever. We're at Wakanda Forever now. So we're getting near the end of the movies. And that movie's pretty good, but due to the circumstances, I remember thinking it when I saw it the first time, it's like a half hour too long. Wakanda Forever.
That's fair.
Yeah. It says it right in the title.
I should have seen it going in.
Yeah. At least the Marvels was short, but it was really short when I watched it.
The kids liked it though. The kids, my kids are really excited like about all this buildup that they have of these new like young superhero team coming. And I'm just like, oh, I hope that happens. And they actually make the things that they've been setting up because right now it's a little bit tenuous on like all of these things if they're actually building to something, because does anybody care about them in a way like that?
It's tough.
They care about the Avengers, right? Like there's a market for this, but it's not the Avengers level market, right? So I don't know. I'm hopeful
they tease it. They've teased it, and and I don't know if it's gonna happen. I really don't.
It's like the video game business.
I'm doubtful.
It's like the video game business. These movies cost a lot of money, and if you're gonna be making them, you got to make them on the sure things that are gonna just return so much on your huge investment. So you got to be really careful on what you make.
Yep, I know. We watched Thor: Love and Cancer too.
Cancer. It was very
that movie's
cancerous.
A bummer. That movie is. It might be my least favorite Marvel movie.
Sure. I like it all right. I like it.
I think it's my least favorite.
I'm okay with it.
I really like the miniseries that it's based on, the comic books.
Sure.
And they don't do a good job. Like there's a way to adapt that into that exact movie in a way that's a little bit better. I also don't like the kids thing. Too many kids.
My kids got very excited about that. They enjoyed the jokes about Team Kids in a Cage, all that stuff. That that landed with them.
It didn't.
I think the cancer is for the adults, and the kids in the cage and the fighting with the kids is for the kids.
So. Yeah, I know. I appreciated the cancer, so I had something to relate to. All right, should we go on to TV? I watched some TV things.
You watched. It looks like you watched a lot of TV.
Yeah, we didn't go away for that long. Mrs. Cheapy and I started watching House of Ninjas, which is the new series on Netflix.
Is it about a house full of ninjas? Is it
Yes.
a reality show about
No.
a house full of ninjas?
No.
It's not a reality show about a house full of ninjas.
The elevator
missed it
pitch. Yes, it is a show about a house full of ninjas, but in this story, the ninjas work for the Japanese government doing missions that you would think like a government would send a group of ninjas on, like a high profile person gets kidnapped. You need to get it taken care of discreetly. You're going to call the SWAT team or you're going to call the ninja family.
Wait, it's a family of ninjas?
The family, it's a house. So it's a family of ninjas. And
who else lives in a house ship?
Right.
Seriously.
Well, it could be a team. It could be a team. It could be a team. But in this case, there's the mom and dad ninja. There's brother sister ninja, little brother ninja, grandma ninja. But
Ann B. Davis as a ninja.
It's a serious show,
Saint
though.
Bernard ninja.
It's not a joke. It's serious. It's not for kids. There's blood, but there's humor, and it is a Japanese show, but it is directed by a white guy. It's the only like white name in the credits is the guy's Dave Boyle, I think is the guy's name. But the show's real good. We watched like 4 episodes. House of Ninjas. I think I think you would like it. I think actually, Wombat, I could see you and your wife watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith because we just finished that. We finished the whole season.
We were going to. We just haven't gotten around to it.
It's good. It's got everything. It's got like the relationship stuff for the ladies, and it's got the guns for the fellows. And it's very clever and funny, and the acting was very good. So, and that's on Amazon, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'd recommend that. And also The Curse, which I'm on the finale. I haven't watched that yet. But
Gotcha.
The Curse is excellent. That's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, you've talked about, I think, both of those shows already.
I want you to watch The Curse, but you said you can't because
I won't.
Kill you.
It'll never happen. I'd much rather watch Tournament of Champions Season 5, which started 2 weeks ago. It's been pretty good so far. There's already been a number 1 seed eliminated. So, Guy
It's a
Fieri.
cooking show? Yeah,
It's the cooking show. It's the bracket. It's the big bracket. It's the biggest competition in cooking competitions.
Who are some of the chefs that I might know that are participating?
I don't know. If you know any of them. Yeah, I don't think you would.
Swedish chef?
Swedish chef.
Chef Boyardee?
Chef Boyardee.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's all I know.
So, Jet Tila.
Ronald McDonald?
Are you a Jet Tila fan?
Ronald McDonald is chef?
Yeah.
No, Ronald McDonald is not a chef.
Oh, he's not?
I don't even think he cooks anything.
No. He's just like clowning around while everyone else does all the work.
You ever watch any Chopped? Did you ever watch
I've
that
watched
show?
some Chopped.
No.
Yes.
I bought salad from them, though.
Mark Murphy and Amanda Freitag both won in their first rounds. They're Chopped judges that are participating in the competition, and they won in their first round of the brackets. So that's kind of cool.
How come the salad place and the TV show haven't sued each other over the name Chopped?
I don't know.
I feel like somebody's got to win.
Oh.
Is the salad place salad place spelled like with an apostrophe or something?
I don't know. That's
no,
a good
that
question.
would be Chop In. This is Chopped.
Salad place. No, it's CHOPT. That's why. Fucking place sucks. That's the place. Remember that I ordered a salad from that place and they told me to go in, like I couldn't, it wasn't ready. And they said, oh, you have to go down these stairs to get the salad. And I went down the stairs and the stairs were all slippery and like covered with lettuce and everything. And it was just like the basement where all these guys were just like preparing salad and like none of them spoke English. And they had no idea why I was there. And I had no idea why I was there. And then I just left, never went back again.
No, I don't remember that, but that's a good story.
Thank you.
I'm more of a sweet greens guy anyway.
I could have died that day. I could have wound up in a salad. Yeah, what if I fell down those slippery stairs, just like hit my head, died? Like, what do we do with the body? Just fucking, grill them up and put them in the salad.
It's just chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's chicken.
Got the same color, pretty much. That's it for what we're watching, I guess.
I think so.
What about new releases? Oh, there was a Star Wars Dark Forces remaster. I see.
I know it feels expensive for $30.
What does it look like? I need to see it right now. I didn't even know this was a thing.
It looks okay. It doesn't look so different that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a whole new thing. It just looks like they kind of, I don't know, tightened up the graphics on level 3. But it doesn't. It's not like Resident Evil 4. It's not like the Resident Evil remaster level of remaster.
Oh wait, what the fuck is this shit?
It's
I see. Okay, there's the remaster. Okay.
There's like a little like a coat of paint, but not necessarily like, oh, this looks amazing.
I'm good. I think I enjoyed it as much as I'm going to enjoy it in my life.
Yeah, how old is that game now?
Very old.
It's got to be very old. It's very old. That's how old it is.
Before that real estate job.
I'll probably pick this up. Dash will enjoy this one.
But for $30?
Not for $30. You out of your mind?
That was my point. I'm not saying that it's a bad game. I'm just saying I don't know if it's
No. I'll get this when it's on sale for like $5. It'll happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw that they were also putting out a remaster of the Stars Battlefront game.
Yeah. Yep. 1 and 2. Yeah. The originals. Yeah.
But we already play those on there. Is this like
also a new shiny coat of paint?
Okay. Like you can already play those.
There's, I think, 2 new characters in it too, like Kit Fisto.
Okay.
Wait, if Ship already owns
was telling me about this because he's very excited for it.
What's going to happen? Like if Ship wants to like the better graphics, he has to just buy the new.
Yeah, I'd have to buy the remaster version of it because it's like it's both games in one in this remaster version.
Yeah.
Whereas I have both games as 2.
But what if are the 2 games going to be playing each other online?
I have no idea if they're on the same servers or not. Like this, I saw the remaster was published by like Aspire, and the other ones were EA, right?
Yes, this is not an EA game.
And the same thing was true of was Dark Forces, was that EA at one point, or was that just LucasArts at one point?
I want to say LucasArts, but I could very well be wrong about that.
Is that Aspire now too?
I don't think so, because the other Star Wars game I get press releases on, and this one I don't. Dark Forces I have not. So it makes me think it's different just because I haven't gotten the emails about it.
Yes, it's published by Night Dive. Yeah. Night Dive Studios.
So if they were smart, they would have been emailing me about it, but you know.
But I don't know, those are all good games. It's just we're getting to the point now, like now that everything is going fully digital, that all the digital games are still sitting there that they're releasing again. Like
right.
There's like not a big, like you could buy the old version of it for like $5, or you could buy this new one for $30 and they still work.
Right.
Both of them.
Right. Hey, why not? Doesn't take up any extra space on a shelf.
Yeah.
What else? New releases. I see this game Pacific Drive came out, and I thought about picking it up, but it looks like one of these games where like the save system is really punishing. Like you could be caught like playing this game for an hour or 2 without being able to save it, and then
I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Pacific Drive. It's like a survival game where it revolves around a car. Like you rely on on a station wagon to get you around, and it's like your base, I guess. And
I don't know. I'm done.
What do you mean you're done? It's been getting really good reviews, and it looked cool, but it looked like torturous in a way, and it sounded like a lot of the reviews said
a lot of survival games are torturous. I'm very, it's funny because there was a time like when survival games were like just when the first glut of them started coming out, and I'm like, oh, this is something that I think I'm gonna like. I'm gonna like survival games, and then I've played like maybe too many, and I don't like them. That's what I've come to. Generally speaking, as a genre,
sure,
I'm not a fan.
For this one, I'm going to wait.
It's bad. I'm just saying it's not for me.
This one, I think it sounds like something that they can just fix and tweak. If they get enough complaints, and there were a lot of them when I looked it up on Steam, so maybe they will. Should we do Wombat's Fortnightly News?
Yes. There were some exciting developments in Fortnite over the weekend.
Lies.
No, this is very true.
Okay.
I played Fortnite with Shipwreck.
Oh.
That
Oh,
is,
yeah,
I feel,
we
a
did.
very important Fortnite development. We played father and son squads.
It's
where
emotional.
I played with my son. Shipwreck played with his, and we won.
We did.
We won the Fortnites, and I'm gonna go as far as to say everyone had a good time.
Dashwell enjoyed it.
Yeah,
He asked when we were going to do it again.
At least 75% of the people playing had a good time.
75% of the people. There was a
Guaranteed.
75% enjoyment rate, which, I mean, I would literally take those odds anywhere.
It's a game that I will play with my son, and I will never play if I am not playing with my son.
That's fair. But it's not like you had a bad time playing with
No, it's fine. I just the gameplay loop still is like, it does not grab me whatsoever. And then the quests, like there's literally quests like eat cabbage in the passenger seat of a car, or knock down 10 sets of stairs.
That was a quest this week. Yes,
that was a quest. We did it during that mission that we were playing.
That one was good. That was a good quest because at least that was a group quest. So you only really, when you're playing in squads, you only had to knock down like 3 sets of stairs. And
yeah, there's some other real bangers, like fill up 75% of gas in a car before 25 players are remaining on the map. Like that's a real fun one. Then you have to do that solo. Like you can, like if like I was having to like instruct my son to don't you dare touch that gas.
Right.
I just drove this car around for no reason to come back to this gas station so I could fill it up. And
it's fun.
And get
yeah. When you guys play with your kids, is there split screen, or you're on different systems, or?
I'm on
2 different Xboxes.
Yeah, we're two Xboxes, 2 TVs.
Oh wow.
We're in different rooms. We have headsets on. We don't have to look at each other.
Wow.
It's perfect father-son bonding.
I do appreciate that it's like I don't have to think at all while I'm playing it. Like there's
no pressure. There's no
consequence whatsoever.
You don't feel that like nervousness when you're playing, like
none. It doesn't hit me at all.
Not even when you get down to like the last 2. No, nothing. Hands don't get sweaty. Nothing. Nothing.
Like I know I'm gonna get a victory royale because I know it's all matchmaking or whatever going on in the background.
Man.
We get a victory royale like I don't know 1 out of 6 times or so.
Right. Hey.
And then like literally, Dashel and I were playing and we were like, oh, everybody was down here in the room and we're like, oh, here, like Mrs. Shipwreck, Emmeline, why don't you guys play? We're gonna go get like a snack or something and come back. And so they got 3rd place. They never played it at all.
No.
Like just
the game must know. It knows how often it needs you to win.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad thing either. I think it's, it if anything, it makes the game, I don't know,
more accessible.
More accessible. That's the word I was trying to find.
Less stressful,
more accessible. And less
exhilarating.
You don't need to win every time in order to complete the battle pass, for example, which I think is something a lot of these other games can learn from, where you
just need to eat cabbage.
Yeah, exactly. Eat cabbage in a passenger seat, and you're going to get a new skin in this game. You're going to get a whole new character.
You don't have to even be moving either. You get in, and you go, nope, I don't want to be driving. Get me over in this passenger seat. I want to eat.
I got to eat this piece of cabbage so I can get Peter Griffin.
Right. We got Peter Griffin. So Dash completed. I don't know. He got to level 100.
Yep, that's the basic pass. He finished the basic pass.
Yeah.
He has enough V-Bucks to buy the next one. The stressful thing
to me in this game is when I see people with like level like 375 or something like that comes and kills me, and I'm like, you are playing this game way too much because I know
worried
what
about
it took to get to 100. I'm worried about those people. Yes, that are.
What level is Wombat?
Wombat's at 260.
I'm not even that high. I'm 250.
Well, I was way off.
254.
Way off.
Is there a doctor you can go to when your level gets too high, and he's going to tell you, look, you need to drop like 100 levels because it's not healthy?
Probably.
Like how?
Dr. Fortnite.
There's a question here, like in the chat, and I'm curious too. Like, how much do you play to get to like level 260?
This
Because I feel like I'm like at level 85 on my character, and it's because Dashwell played some before I started playing on this account too.
Well, this season was weird. This season was an anomaly. I usually don't get that high. I usually will do my best to get to 200. I usually get maybe like 205 or so. So to get close to 260 is very unusual for me. But this was the season where they added in all those extra modes, like the racing and the music thing and the Lego thing. And in the Lego mode, you don't have to play the Lego mode. You can just sit on a bed and have it on behind you, and you'll get like 10 levels a day. And at the beginning of the
These
season,
games just play themselves now.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, I did that because I didn't know how bad the grind would be. So you kind of want to be like, well, I know I can do this now. If I had known then what I know now that I wouldn't have had to do that, I wouldn't have done that. So to be fair, I sort of, played the system, but I didn't need to. I probably still would have hit 200 anyway. And I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more, to be perfectly honest. But
you didn't answer this guy's question.
How long does it take?
Yeah.
I did it. It took me about 2 months to hit 200.
Of how?
We did the math on this a while ago. It's like a couple hours a day. Like two hours.
Maybe an hour, not even that much a day. Maybe an hour and a half a day. I might, you know what? Because if I start playing at like 8:30, there are days if 8:30 to 9:30 is what I'll use is like a normal weeknight playtime for me. I don't play late. I don't play till I turn it off usually before 10 o'clock, and I usually don't log on until 8:15 ish, and then I'm like checking out the shop and what quests I need to do and all that nonsense before I even jump in with anybody.
Your work order.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, like an hour and 15 minutes a night, we'll say, of actual playing the game.
All right, it's too much Fortnite 15? Talk. Too much Fortnite playing and talk. Oh, no, not too much playing, just too much talking right now.
Anyway.
Let's move on to the big news of the day, I think, which is there's just fucking layoffs upon layoffs in the gaming industry.
There were layoffs right before we started recording. It's really sad.
Yep, it was EA announced
kind of sucks
layoffs, and it was Sony yesterday, I think, and
Sony, and seems like they're blaming VR for all of the layoffs. Is what
No, I mean, nobody thought VR
That's how
was
I read
making
it.
money.
I know, but now they shuttered the studio that made VR games for them.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole PS5 VR thing was just a complete waste of money. Like,
I know, and now
it was so unnecessary.
They seem to have finally figured it out, but unfortunately, some other good people at other studios, like Insomniac, lost their jobs because of it.
It's like all these companies are downsizing now. Like Microsoft laid off like 14% of their gaming workforce. Like, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? It just seems like all these big companies are doing it.
Sucks.
And EA was today, and it's sad.
So what do you think the answer is here? Do you think the answer is, because this has been the discourse, we'll say, that I've been seeing online. Should studios be charging more money for better, bigger games, or should they be making smaller games and charging less money? And there's examples of both situations. And right now, there's and this from experience, Mr. GPD, that there's a less expensive, smaller game that's out right now that you just bought. Should that be the type of thing that Sony should be focusing on instead of these big idea type things that they may have to charge $100 for?
When you look at all these announcements of the layoffs, or I guess they're not announcements, they're like internal memos and updates, you can see like these companies are getting away from these big games, these games that cost a lot of money to develop and that aren't likely to return like a jackpot level of a return. So a game like Harry Potter is the anomaly where it's going to cost a lot of money, but holy fuck, they're not going to sell 5 million copies. They're going to sell 25 million, or I don't even know what they're going to sell. I don't know.
These
know
days,
what
I feel like if there's one game like that a year, it's shocking. If there's going to be one Elden Ring, there's going to be one Harry Potter, there's going to be one whatever it might
they're
be.
rare.
Yeah.
And so, and the companies now are realizing how rare it is, and like, hey, if we're gonna spend / invest $150 million on something, we need to make $1 billion. We don't want to make. We don't want to sell 5 million copies, 4 million copies, or 6 million. We need to fucking blow it out of the water. And it's just like, how do you do that now?
Maybe, I mean, again, I am no expert on this. Maybe they're looking at this in a way that isn't the right way. Maybe the answer is not just a video game. Maybe there's something else that goes along with it that would help. Maybe there's a merchandising element. Maybe there's a licensing element that could help. I mean, it's the same thing with Marvel and the Marvel movies. Marvel movies, $1 billion franchise, but a lot of what helps, especially with the production of that, is selling those toys and those hats and those shirts and the theme park rides. And I think this helps Nintendo a lot too. I don't know how much Nintendo makes a year in licensing, but I guarantee you it's enough where, it helps with game development costs. It eases, and it can't hurt that pain.
The problem is that no matter what kind of games they're making, just the nature of this business is these guys just get laid off constantly. There's no job security. So these are mass layoffs happening now, right? But there's constantly layoffs going on in the game industry when projects end. It's just,
sure.
It's expected at this point that when you're working on a game, you shouldn't have any notion of job security at any point. And especially once the game is done, why would they continue to pay you when you're in between jobs? That's just the way most of these big companies look at it.
Yes,
they're just focused on the bottom line.
It feels like it's been like that forever.
So no matter what, even though your suggestions were fine, Wombat, at the end of the day, if the company thinks they're going to make more money by firing these people that they don't have to keep on the payroll, they're just going to do that and take the extra money.
And I was going to say, and they should still.
Sure.
It's funny because I was actually coming at it from the how do you keep games at $60, not so much the how do you keep people from getting laid off.
Right.
Because I think at the end of the day, greed's always going to win. Right. And even if my solution worked to have people keep their job, if they could get away with it, they will, because greed always wins. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's the reality.
Yes.
Which is sad. But yes, I think that, if you have a game that hits, it's sort of like, I talked about this previously with Mass Effect. When they killed off Commander Shepard, it was sort of like a killing of a golden goose in that franchise, because there was a lot of merchandise that went along with Mass Effect. And at that time, I remember, I would, especially in Manhattan, for some reason, I saw a lot of people wearing N7 backpacks were kind of a thing at the time. And hoodies, lots of N7 gear. And once they killed off Commander Shepard, within a year or two, you just didn't see any of that anymore. It just kind of went away.
Again, probably because a game like that, I mean, of course, it's stupid to lose something like that, but a game like that cost a lot of money to make, and they sell, it's a successful game, sell a lot of copies, but it doesn't sell that many copies to maybe justify the investment and the time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You keep that license alive in between. If you can make some money on hoodies while you're not making the game, so that when you do start making the game, there's still something there. I don't know.
That ship is fucking
I know that ship
space.
Well, I understand that because they didn't listen to me when I said it 5-10 years ago. Right. But if you find something that hits with people, Super Mario Brothers, you could make all the toys you want and Legos, and so when you don't have a game out, at least there's something
pretty
still
sure
out
all these
there.
companies are trying to make Super Mario Brothers.
They would love
I'm sure
to.
they would all love to make Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm just saying there's other avenues other than just the sale of the game and even, or digital content to help finance these games that instead of, hopefully not raising game prices to $120, because I think that would hurt more than
The
help.
Sony one is the interesting one, right? Because by all accounts, like they're winning this generation. They seem to have all like their exclusives in place. Like they theoretically have the money there, right? To like repurpose and put these people on projects.
Right.
And it's still not enough to where they're like, oh, we can save some money here by laying off these people.
Let's just worry about that. We've won this round or whatever. Let's fire these people now. We're going to be working on, the next console, and we'll ramp up when we need to. And I think that's how the game business works. I read Jason Schreier's book. By the way, I pre-ordered his new book, which is coming out about about Activision, Blizzard rather. So that should be great. But yeah, the ongoing theme in that book about all the gaming layoffs is that they staff up when they need to and fire everybody when they can save money. It's just
a bummer now because these games require so many people to make them. So the amount of layoffs is a staggering number. It's close to 20,000 people in 2024, and it's only February. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yep.
And it's scary because you see it and you're like, holy crap, what's going on? Is this indicative of
this
the
is where I
economy
blame the Fortnite players that are over 200.
I mean, in a way,
over level 200.
It's true though. You should blame. They call them like sticky games, right? Like Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, to a lesser extent, like Apex Legends. Like just there's only so many hours. How many hours in the day can Wombat play games? Probably 2. And he wants to play Fortnite and doesn't leave a lot of time for other games. And there's a billion Wombats out there. And so these games don't have an audience. These games come out and they can't steal away the audience from Fortnite or from other games like that. And
it's really hard to steal someone away from Fortnite. It's probably impossible. If you've really invested in it, if you have, 5 years of battle passes and you're just, and you're in the weeds and you have your regular group of guys that you play with on a weeknight, and it's a good way to kind of, end your day. Trust me, it's the most stress relieving thing I do is play Fortnite with the other Fortnite dads, and we laugh and shoot things and have a good time. And then it's like, all right, that was fun. And talking about the rumors with my son and going over, or like sending each other TikToks of what we've seen of what might be coming up. And then, those are fun things. And other games, especially a new game, isn't going to have that built in.
You're invested. Yeah. How do you get all these gamers uninvested inside? You can't. You can't.
No.
And you can't make more hours in the day.
Nope.
So I was surprised to see that Apex Legends, that was on Steam, the Steam store, and Apex Legends is one of the top grossing games on there, or at least top earning games. It was like in the top 5 when I looked, and it seems to be like sort of living in the top 20. They also, at part of EA's, I guess, layoff announcement news leak, I don't know how we learned about it, but we did learn that the next Battlefield game will have a free Battle Royale component, a free-to-play Battle Royale component that's separate from the main game, which, I'm surprised that like every game doesn't do that, because it's a good way to make money. And
it is, but it isn't. Again, it's what we just talked about. It's a game like Battlefield. They should have had one probably 5 years ago.
Right.
The question is it too late?
Free is a great price. And
free is a great
Battlefield is a good brand still, even though they've sort of they've had a rough few releases, I guess, recently, but people will check out free. And people like Battle Royale still.
Yep.
Hey, they even got ship playing. Well, Dadhood did.
Right.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst. He makes it seem like it's a chore.
No, he likes it. You like the dancing stuff, right? Like when you see like, Freddy Krueger do like
it literally
the time warp or something. I don't know.
I literally have no feelings whatsoever for anything that's going on.
Is your heart just like cold when you're playing this game?
I think it must be. I mean, I think that at its worst or best, I don't know. The game is goofy. There's a goofiness. Right. There's a light-heartedness to that game that I think, which is the other reason why I like it maybe a little bit more than like a Call of Duty where everyone's so serious all the time.
Right.
This is like, oh, I'm gonna jump this car over this cliff and it's gonna flip and it's gonna be funny, but whatever.
Right.
It's just me.
Did you want to talk about this guy's article that he wrote about Jeff Keighley, saying that Jeff Keighley is not a good spokesman for the gaming industry because he doesn't talk about all the layoffs that are going on?
That's not Jeff Keighley's job, and it's a stupid article.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree with you 100%.
What's the point? What was the point of that?
And that I don't think Jeff Keighley sees himself as the spokesperson of the gaming industry.
He's not the spokesperson of the gaming industry. He's
the spokesperson of the Game Awards and the Summer of Jeff. And I don't think he's ever claimed to be anything other than that.
Anything more than that. He's not the man. He's not. He doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't work for the video game unions.
I think a lot of the viewers of those shows interpret it to be something other than it is, right?
I mean, he's mainly just a spokesperson of games that have not come out yet.
Yeah, he's a commercial
and
guy.
that have money and a video.
Right.
Yeah. Good for him.
Which is fine. And he's never said that he's anything other than, he's never represented himself in any other way. Like,
yeah, it's stupid article.
It's like this guy could be that spokesperson.
Yeah,
instead of writing an article, be the Jeff Keighley that you want Jeff Keighley to be.
Exactly. Be the Jeff Keighley you want to see in the world.
Yes. Manifest it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to what we're playing. I picked up Helldivers because that seems to be the new hotness. Mm-hmm. Now, I had to get it on PC because it's only on PlayStation and PC. That is a pretty fun game, especially if you've seen the movie Starship Troopers, which it is a direct rip-off of. Like, even like the design of the bugs in it and the theme, everything. They do a very nice job of like setting you up as one of the troopers in Starship Troopers. I mean, the Helldivers. But it's the same exact fucking situation with the propaganda and everything. Very cute, very well done. And the gameplay is your squad-based 4-player online swarms of enemies. You have there's two different types of enemies. You got the bugs from Starship Troopers, and you got the Terminators from Terminator movies. And so, because you want those humanoid type guys to shoot at too. And they do a nice job of like giving you weapons where you're calling down like lasers from the sky. You have your own ship, and you dial in like the laser blasts from your spaceship, and it's fun. Like, it's a fun gameplay loop. It doesn't seem like the microtransactions are, egregious, but I played up maybe like an hour and a half of it so far. Seems good. I wish I had an HDR gaming monitor for my PC. I realized that I do not have that.
I thought about picking it up while I was on vacation.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I didn't get around to it, and now it's probably too late for me.
Why?
So. I don't know. I don't have anyone to play it with, and
it has crossplay.
I know. I'll figure it out
on PC. We could play together.
Maybe if it ever goes on sale.
You have to actually link your PlayStation account to play it on PC.
Okay,
but
I can figure that out.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
I see what the hype is about. It's funny. It has a good sense of humor, and it's hard.
Yeah, I heard that too. So almost like,
But you're always being respawned by people. There's not much like invested. It's
how's
a little
the friendly
janky
fire?
too.
I heard the friendly fire could be a little.
You do have to pay attention. There's definitely like a learning curve. First thing I did was turn off the voice chat because I don't want to hear anybody yelling at me that I suck and I'm doing it wrong, because I know that both of those things are true, but I'm not there to hear it from anybody that I don't know. So I turn that shit off, and then I just do the best I can.
Sounds good.
Huh. What are you guys playing?
After last show where I talked about how my Suicide Squad game crashed on me at the final boss,
Yes.
I decided to go back and kill the final boss. And I killed the final boss in Suicide Squad. I saw the credits. The game, for all intents and purposes, ended.
I thought it's a game as a service. There's no more service left for you?
And then, no, once you do it, it's like, all right, you did it. Now you can do these things. Do these 3 missions. I'm like, oh, what makes these 3 missions different? It's just, it's there. Yeah, just do it. Don't ask questions. We'll give you a gun and we're going to put a sticker on the gun that says Bane on it. Don't you want the Bane gun?
Wait,
Bane's not in the game. Bane's not in the game.
How does
Bane has a gun?
factor to this?
But there, you can collect the Bane guns. Don't you want Bane guns?
Bane is known for shooting things, right?
It's like that's his thing.
That's his thing?
That's his thing. So,
Okay.
you kind of want like a Bane gun. I have a Bizarro gun. That's another thing.
Another guy that's known for
his guns.
His guns.
Is Bizarro. There's an honest game trailer for Suicide Squad that came out like 2 days ago. It is basically, it's so spot on. I've found it to be quite amusing. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good ideas. I could say this now that I finished Suicide Squad for all intents and purposes. There are some good ideas in this game. The gunplay is not terrible. It's just repetitive. And the enemies are repetitive. And there's no reason to try to stretch that out any longer. Because when you finish the game, you don't want to do it anymore. And that's sort of the problem with the game. Is when you're done with it, you're like, well, now what do you do? Well, now you can protect the bus for another. I'm like, oh, I did that like 7 times already.
Well, just wait for Joker to come out, and then you can protect the bus as Joker.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
if you have
the same thing.
$15 or whatever it costs.
It's free. Joker's free.
Oh, well then, fuck, protect that bus. That bus is going to be real safe.
And I swear to God, there's like 2 different types of buses that at different points you have to protect, but it's still the same stupid mission. It's like, oh, you got to collect the microchips and put them in the bus. All right. Oh, you got to collect the people and put them in the bus. All right.
Both the microchips and the people go in the bus.
Just put them in the bus.
Whatever you got, put it in the bus.
Just put it in the bus. They're purple things. You got to shoot the purple things, or else you'll never protect them. I'm like, I get it, and it's literally just that. And the funny thing is, there are main missions and side missions, and there's no difference in the missions.
Solid.
Like, it's not like you're doing something different. The only time that there's really a variation in combat are the boss fights, of which there are only 5. And even those aren't all that imaginative, except for maybe the Batman one.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I think I'm 33 hours into Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth now.
Nice.
So about a third of the way.
About
a third of the way in. Yeah, I think I'm about halfway through the story, but like at about I think it was about 25, maybe 27 hours. There unlocks a different mini game where now there's like a whole island that I am like responsible for like cleaning up the trash and like decorating, and it's like a whole like, I don't know, kind of pseudo Animal Crossing type of situation going on. And that then I can invite back people from the actual Hawaii island that I'm doing stuff on. I can like walk up to people and say, hey, come check out my other island I'm setting up. And then they have to tell me like, oh, maybe I would if your charisma or passion was higher. And then I have to like build up my charisma and passion and then go back and talk to them and then invite them to my island and then give them presents. And this is all like,
you love that.
Just something totally different that is like not having to do anything with the rest of the game. And that is these Like a Dragon games. It's like you walk 15 feet and then like something different is happening that you've never encountered before. The Segway is good. You get to ride around on a Segway in this one. It makes
nice.
It makes walking much smoother.
That's its goal, I think. Is the Segway's goal, yeah.
Yep. So it's still good. It feels like I wish I could play it at like fast forward, like 50% fast forward speed, like at all times. Like
that's how I felt playing the action version of that game.
Right. It's just like, all right, we get it. Like, let's just speed this up a little bit. And they do have stuff in there. Like if you run into like a group of enemies that's like half your level, you can just like hold down the left trigger and then it's just like one punch and they all just
nice.
Die. So it's got that going for it. It's got cancer too. Did I mention cancer?
It's so hot right now.
Yeah. This game has cancer. Yeah. So
yeah, it has a heart. That game. Those games, they always have like a little heart.
They do. Yeah.
They try to make you cry a little.
Mm-hmm.
What else we playing?
I restarted Baldur's Gate 3. I felt like I didn't give that game a fair chance.
Okay.
Since people love it so much, and since I was, on break and, home, I gave it a shot. I don't know. I really want that game to grab me. Maybe in another life that game would have grabbed me, but the combat feels more like a chore than it feels like I'm really doing anything. It's not. I guess the example I have would really be like against Midnight Suns, where I feel like it had stronger turn-based combat than Baldur's Gate's turn-based combat. And I kind of want it to be more like that.
Do you think it would benefit from the mouse and keyboard situation? Or
maybe? I don't even know.
Yes.
I mean,
he's nodding his head furiously.
I mean, I got used to the controls, which I didn't last time. Like I gave it a much, I played like 4 or 5 hours of it. I know there are people I've heard people say it doesn't click in until you play like 10, 15 hours.
Sweet.
But I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, exactly. So again, I'm not knocking on Baldur's Gate 3. I'm sure someone will leave a nasty comment. I'm just saying, I just don't know.
I feel like that's the type of game you need to be hunched over a PC to play.
Maybe
like really bad posture and just like you play for too long, everything hurts, but because you're like you got to do a lot of mouse, a lot of cursor moving and selecting.
Yeah, like there's some cool ideas in that game, like when you're talking to someone and you have to roll the dice, and if you, that whole thing is really cool. The whole rolling the dice to see if you succeed in a conversation
I like that.
is really cool, and that's a lot of fun. But I find the combat just to be a little tedious.
Fair enough. Anything else?
John Cena came out today for Mortal Kombat as a playable character.
No,
Peacemaker.
It's Peacemaker. It's not John Cena. It's Peacemaker, right?
Well, it's very much John Cena as Peacemaker.
Right.
So, you can say what you want. I'm saying John Cena.
He was on Howard Stern last week or this week.
He's a nice guy, that John Cena.
He seems to be pretty exceptional.
He is the Guinness Book of World Record holder for the most Make-A-Wish visits of any celebrity.
It's true.
Yep. So that says something. But he also, shoots people full of holes in Mortal Kombat and, beats the crap out of demons, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. And it's fun. I played like maybe 20 minutes just to kind of see the character, see how it looks, and kick some people in the face. And I did that. So
bring back RoboCop. Thank you for your cooperation.
No problem. Homelander, I think, is next.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah.
Not as good as RoboCop, but
no, not as good as RoboCop, but still.
They should let you keep all your old characters that you bought from the DLC. They should just like port those over to the new.
You know what? If they did that, it would probably be pretty cool.
People would buy more likely to buy the new game, like if they're invested in it.
You'd be more likely to buy the new game if you were invested in the old characters from the previous game. If you didn't have the characters from the previous game, but knowing you could play them in the new game, they might be able to sell those again.
Might be hard for them to.
I'm sure there's licensing issues here.
I understand. I understand that, but hey, Fortnite seems to have been able to
sell them twice. If you can sell them twice,
Fortnite doesn't, because then they just sell them for a time period and then.
That's true. I guess
How about this idea? The Mortal Kombat platform, where we're no longer selling the Mortal Kombat game every 3 years? When do they put out every new Mortal Kombat game? And you just keep the same characters. And when they make these licensing deals with the companies like RoboCop, RoboCop's in the game now. He's part of the Mortal Kombat universe. Fortnite.
Just
make Fortnite with Mortal Kombat. That's what we want.
There are games like that. There's Brawlhalla, which is it's more like Smash. Multiverses. Remember that game? That's
I
supposed to
wonder-
be coming back this year. Multiverses. It's
Oh.
coming
It is
back.
coming back. I was worried about that. I couldn't sleep last night. I was like,
I have no idea if it's coming back.
oh, that's fake news.
It's fake news.
Let's move on to the CAG bag here. This is from Mace Cassis. He says, Wombat, Marvel Snap update. Are you still playing that?
I play it every day.
Fuck. What level are
Every
you in
day.
that? 40,000.
I'm like 13,000.
13,000. That's a
Yeah.
big number.
It is a big number. It's a big number. There was someone online. Oh, I'm forgetting who it is, but someone in the industry who was posted how they hit 10,000 and they didn't know what happened after you hit 10,000. And I replied back and I go, nothing. And I showed him my number and he's like, oh man, that's crazy. So
Right.
Yeah.
That's so you don't get it. Nothing happens. Do you have
Yeah,
do you have
mean-
every character in the game?
I do not have every card in the game. I had because they release new cards like every 2 weeks or so. There's going
Oh.
to be one new card, and I don't have I don't spend money in the game. I don't buy the season pass anymore. I did, I think, twice. I got the season pass. Once because I really wanted Loki because I like Loki as a character, and also I got the first one that they did because I didn't know any better. But yeah, no, I don't spend any money on the game. I play it usually in the mornings, like when I'm sitting on the couch watching the news. It's like just something that I go through. I do the daily challenges, and that's about what I'll do. But you get to climb that ladder and unlock some new card variants. And my best friend plays it. So like we'll text each other when we get new variants, or if we get keys, we will call each other up on the phone and use our keys at the same time to see if we unlock anything special. So yeah, we're big nerds. We're big Marvel Snap nerds.
Wow.
But it's fun. It's a fun game. It's
All I know is that
free,
they don't
and I
advertise on Twitter anymore. They used to be every
Oh,
ad
that's
used to
funny.
be Marvel Snap, and now it's just those Cheech and Chong gummies.
Yeah. See, exactly. They don't even need to do that anymore.
No.
They're making good money though, from what I could tell. So
Right.
it's like one of the most profitable games on mobile or some nonsense like that.
It
So,
makes sense.
I got some pretty cool variant cards. Very excited about some of them. So.
Yeah. What's the best Wolverine variant?
What is the best one? Oh, the one that everyone seems to like, which I do not have, is the one from the animated series one where Wolverine's looking at the picture, laying on a bed,
They
Oh,
do stuff like
sure.
that.
huh?
They do stuff like that. They
Uh-huh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
smart. That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. See, you're starting to get it. You're like, oh wait, that is funny.
I mean, there's
Like,
not that many. I'm trying to think of other memes that they could be using based on the Marvel. There's
Mhm.
not that many. Are
There aren't that many. No, and there's some cards, and it's very interesting because Shipwreck is a Marvel Legends figure. He's familiar with the Marvel Legend action figures. Not a
figure.
collector, but you know what they are.
He's a
more
figure
than
in the
he
community.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't be convinced otherwise that some of the new Marvel Legend figures that they're coming out with, they're only releasing because they're popular cards in Marvel Snap. Like, I don't think anyone was clamoring for a Kazar action figure before Marvel Snap because he's one of the more popular cards in the game.
I mean,
Kazar
they
and
must pull
Zabu.
so much data, right, from that. Like they know
Mhm.
at least they have an idea. Like, okay, at least this many people know who this character is because they're fucking playing this game.
Mhm.
I wonder if they share that data with like the department that makes the toys and stuff. Like,
Oh,
or is,
100%.
You think so?
100%. They have, like I said, they have to be because a lot of these new like they just announced the new series of Marvel Legends, and I think like 4 of the 6 of them are some of the more popular cards in Marvel Legends, and the costumes that they're in, it's the version of the default card.
right.
So I'm like, that's not a coincidence. It can't, at least as far as I'm
Shouldn't be.
concerned.
I mean,
Yeah.
they should be using.
No,
that shit.
it's super smart, and it's not really devious at all. It's just really smart business, and I think it just makes people happy.
No,
Sure,
never.
Yeah. I would like
Maybe
this.
you.
I kind of want the Zabu because I do like that card.
Zabu. What the fuck?
Kazar's Sabertooth Tiger. Exactly.
All right, too nerdy. Too nerdy. We have
Too
to go.
nerdy.
We have to go to bed now. The
Mhm.
nerd detector has exploded.
Yeah. hmm
All right. Anything else, Chip? Do you want to get the last word? Any wisdom that you want to leave us with about the layoffs, about John
Good
Cena.
No, I'm good. I'm good on all these topics.
Okay.
I think we've done enough.
Okay.
We've done our part.
We've done too much. Oh, before we go, I want to give a shout out to our friend Ben Gilbert and his new podcast, I Smoke New York, which I've been helping just a little bit. You can check it out on YouTube. If you just Google I Smoke New York podcast, you can find it on YouTube. It already got mentioned. Check this out. It's crazy. It got sourced in the New York Post like last week because one of their guests came on and said something newsworthy. One of the hosts got quoted in the New Yorker magazine and the New York Times. Like, it's pretty, they've accomplished a lot in just 4 episodes. So you should check out the I Smoke New York podcast and support our friend Ben. He's off to a really good start. I'm proud of him. We just had a reel go up and it got like 75,000 views in like 2 days, which is like a lot. So we're all happy for Ben and friends. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Later.
Bread's done.